Welcome back, everybody. You know, sometimes it takes years before we understand how another person has impacted our life. Well, that's certainly the case with my next guest. At 16, she nearly died. But it's the person that she met during her recovery that made the most lasting impression. And she wants to say thank you in a big way. Please welcome Katie. Okay, so Katie, tell us what happened to you.
Well, 25 years ago, at age 16, I had started on a new medicine and started to have a reaction to it. Had some itchy eyes and sore throat. My mom took me to the pediatrician, and they weren't concerned at that time. They wanted to just watch me. So I went home that night, and by the next morning, I had huge blisters hanging off of my entire body. It was in my mouth and down my throat, and I couldn't even swallow. So my mother rushed me back to the doctor, and from there, they rushed me to the hospital. And in 2 days later, I was in the burn unit with second and third degree burns from head to toe.
Wow.
My parents were told that there was a chance I wouldn't make it.
Okay, now, we have a picture of Katie in the hospital, but I have to warn you that it's a little tough to see. So if you have problems with that, this is your chance to turn away. Okay, Katie, did they figure out what happened?
They did. It was a reaction to the medicine I had been taking. It's called Stevens-Johnson syndrome, and it's an autoimmune reaction that literally caused my body to burn. I had second and third degree burns from head to toe, and as bad as it was on the outside, it did the same to my organs on the inside.
Wow. How long was your recovery time?
I was in the burn unit for 3 weeks. I was wrapped like a mummy. I was in excruciating pain. I can remember just laying there chipping at my teeth. And had to have dressing changes every day and would just fight and scream at the nurses as they were tearing at my skin.
Tell me a little bit about this person.
His name is Kerry, and Kerry was in the burn unit the same time I was. He was a hero fireman that had to jump from a burning building when he caught fire. And every day, Kerry would have to wobble by my room to go for his dressing changes. And every day, Kerry would stop by my room to check on me during his own time of pain. And he would ask, "How you doing today, Katie?" And I couldn't move because I was wrapped like a mummy and I couldn't see, but every day I would just give him thumbs down. And he continued to check on me and stop by my room and never gave up on me until the one day that I can remember that I was doing a little better and they sat me up in bed and he said, "Katie, how you doing?" And I gave him the thumbs up. And he said it was his best day in the burn unit. Thank you.
Did you all become friends?
We did. We stayed in touch after we both got out of the burn unit. Just a few months later, I had a dance recital. I was a dancer back then. And he came to my recital. And it meant so much for me to have him there, having gone through what I had gone through. He also came to my high school graduation, my college graduation. He came to my wedding. He was just always there along the road at every important event and just continued to show how much he cared.
How did you all lose touch?
I ended up marrying the love of my life, and we moved away from St. Louis. I had 2 incredible children and was working on my career, and we just lost touch. This was 15 years ago before I had a cell phone and lost his phone number, so we just kind of disconnected. But I had never forgotten about Kerry and what he had done for me in the burn unit.
Wow. What makes it important for you to say thank you now?
You know, I think I'm a nurse now, and as being a nurse and a mother of 2, I've learned the importance of making a difference in someone's life, and that's what Kerry did for me at such a young age. And I don't think it was until I was older that I realized the incredible act that he did to reach out to a complete stranger when he was in the midst of his own anguish and pain, that he cared enough to check on me. And what one person can do by just caring enough to check on another person has made a huge difference that changed my life.
Right.
And I want to tell him that.
Yeah. Here's the situation, everybody. You know, Kerry is backstage right now. He thinks that we brought him in to talk about his days as a firefighter. He has no idea that Katie is here and wants to thank him in a big way. We'll see their emotional reunion when we return. We'll be right back.